Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
J. Happ looked solid in his return to the Astros rotation last week. Tonight, he'll try to complete a 3-game sweep of the Pirates. Calling Mr. Sweepy. Astros baseball right now on Fox Sports Houston.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros go for a 3-game series sweep against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros looking for their first home 3-game sweep of the season. They swept the Cubs on the road, and they played well and scored runs in the first 2 games, JD.
And J. Happ could use a little run support tonight for the Astros. He pitched well in his return to Houston last time out in San Francisco, but did not enjoy any run support, and there was a big error behind him, too. So despite pitching quite well, he ended up losing his 15th game, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned, walked 4, punched out 2. So Jay looking to build on that solid effort last time out against the Giants, and the lefty Happ is up against a hard-throwing right-hander for the Pittsburgh Pirates by the name of James McDonald, who's having a pretty good year for the Buccos. He's 8-6, 4.22 ERA. You see the numbers overall on Jay. 4.15 ERA, still a notch above 6.
Coming up, as the Astros continued to hit last night, and they bunched the hits in another big inning, Jose Altuve went deep, and he's surrounded by a lot of offensive thunder. Jimmy Paredes, Matt Downs and company coming up with big hits along the way. Let's see if the Astros can sweep the Buccos. Mr. Sweepy is in the house next.
series. The Astros have won the first two. Can they make it three straight? We'll go up to the booth. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays, they'll have the call, guys.
Thank you, Greg. And it's Jay Happ warming up right now as the Pirates get ready to travel. Here's their batting order. We'll tell you more after we look at Jose Tabata in right field, Alex Presley in left, Andrew McCutchen in center. Ryan Doman is the catcher, Neil Walker at second base, Garrett Jones at first, Josh Harrison at third, Ronnie Cedeno the shortstop, James McDonald is the pitcher.
Big Jay Happ for the Astros tonight. The lefty's been pretty darn good against the Pirates in his career. He's made 6 starts. He's 2-2 with a .237. He's never allowed more than 3 runs in any of his 6 starts against the Pirates. And defensively, it looks this way. Martinez, Schaefer, Bogasevic cover the outfield. Paredes, Sanchez, Altuve, Lee on the infield, and Quintero is the catcher.
Jose Tabata is in the box, ready to go. Jay Happ deals, and it's strike one call. Mike Everett is the home plate umpire. Tabata, a .273 hitter, has 4 homers. He's driven in 20 runs. 0 for 4 with a walk in this series. He started the game Monday night against Wandy Rodriguez, so he gets another lefty and falls behind here. No balls, 2 strikes. Jay Happ pitching well and losing 2-1 in San Francisco Friday. Fouled away and looked as if he had really improved from the last time we saw him, which was here August 5th. He spent 3 starts at Oklahoma City where he was 1-0 with a 1.50 ERA. And returned with a very good outing last time. It's up and it's a 1-ball 2-strike count. Jay has started 4 times the last 2 years against the Buccos. In each of those starts he's gone 6 innings and allowed 2 earned runs. Fouled away. Still a 1-ball 2-strike count. The Pirates are 1-5 on their current road trip. They'll interrupt this trip before going to Chicago. They'll go back home for a makeup game of a rainout and play the Dodgers tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time, then head for Chicago to resume the road trip. That's strike 3. Tabata walking back to make some comments to Mike Everett. 1 out for Happ.
Great start for Jay Happ as Tabata takes his breaking ball that Mike Everett thought caught the inside corner. Tabata thought otherwise, but it's a good sign for Jay when he gets that pitch called. He gives him another weapon.
Absolutely. Alex Presley's the batter. .298 for Alex, 1 homer. He's driven in 11. Spent some time on the disabled list with a bruised hand, and in fact he was out about a month. But when he came back, Clint Hurdle made it clear that Presley would be playing a lot in the outfield the rest of the way. Presley 1 for 5 in this series with an RBI. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Jay felt that he got the ball down better against the Giants. Didn't get a whole lot of calls in the early going on pitches that were down around the knees, but he dealt with it. 1-2.
He only allowed 4 hits in his 6 innings of work. He walked 4. At least one of those was intentional. I think 2 were. For the most part, his command was pretty darn good.
J.D. Martinez on the run, reaches down, makes the catch in left field, 2 outs. He made a heck of a catch over against that wall last night. Andrew McCutchen follows. McCutchen reached the 2020 club last night with his 20th homer. He's hit 2 bombs both to right field in the 2 games of this series to give him 20 homers, 81 runs batted in with a .274 batting average, and he has 20 steals. As a back for strike 1, he became the 9th player in Pirate history to be a 2020 club member, and the first since Nate McLouth in 08. He's driven in runs in 5 games in a row. Swings there, and it's no balls, 2 strikes for Happ. Happ's career 2-2 with a 2.37 ERA and 6 starts against the Buccos. Brad Mills' club has 6 straight quality starts now. 1-2. Henry Sosa, the most recent one to register one last night. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run in the 8-2 win. his second win of the year. In the dirt, and it's ball 2 with Domet on deck. New catcher's mask for Quintero tonight. Looks like he has adopted the stealth technology. And it's a foul tip strikeout. Jay Happ. And the kid is happy with a foul ball in this one. Jay puts up a 0. He's a pretty happy fellow also. Recently, Jordan Schaefer, followed by Jose Altuve at second base, J.D. Martinez in left field, Carlos Lee at first base, Brian Bogasevic in right field, Jimmy Paredes at third base, Angel Sanchez at shortstop, Humberto Quintero the catcher, Jay Happ the pitcher.
Well, it's right-hander James McDonald for the Pirates tonight. You see his breakdown home and road at home, 4-1 with a very good 3.20 ERA on the road. 4-5 and ERA 5.35. On the year, 8-6, 4.22 the ERA.
First pitch from McDonald, ball 1 to Schaefer's on a 3-game hitting streak. Batting average has climbed to 253. Has 2 homers, 11 runs batted in, and he's gone 4 for 8 with an RBI in this series. It's 2-0 to Schaefer.
McDonald fastball, curveball, and changeup.
James, 26 years old, came from the Dodgers in the Octavio Dotel trade just about a year and a month ago. 2-1 now. He's facing the Astros for the 3rd time this year. Schaefer puts that one out of play for Harrison, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, he pitched a 6 shutout against the Astros back in May. I was in Pittsburgh. I was in position to get the win, but the bullpen coughed it up, got a no decision there, and then got a win here on the 16th of June, allowing 3 runs in 5 2/3.
Schaefer hits it out to center field. McCutchen waiting. 1 out for McDonald.
The Pirates defensively sent up this way tonight. Presley, McCutchen, Tabata in the outfield. McCutchen can really get after him out there. Harrison, Cedeno, Walker, Jones, third, short, second, and first, and Ryan Domet is the catcher. Combination of Domet and McDonald should be fairly easy to run on for the base stealers in the Astros lineup if they can get on.
Jose Altuve looks at strike 1. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. 313 his average, 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. He's 6 for 11 in the last 3 games, and last night went deep for the 2nd time as a major leaguer. He looks at the curve, and it's 0-2 to Altuve. Altuve's 5 for 10 in this series with a homer and 3 runs batted in. That one bounces up, and Domet appeals the swing, but gets the safe sign at first from Chris Guccione. That makes it 1-2.
McDonald with kind of the classic power pitcher's approach, four-seam fastballs that he'll climb the ladder with up in the strike zone, then that good down-breaking curveball to complement it.
And the fastball away gets him a strikeout for out number 2.
He's got a nice arm, nice easy 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there.
That's what the Pirates had hoped for when they traded Dotel for him. And last year he made a dozen starts. This year he's been a mainstay. This is his 27th start of the season. He's rolled up 145 innings so far. J.D. Martinez the next to challenge him. And it's strike one to Martinez. 295 for J.D. 5 homers. He's driven in 29. He is 4 for 9 in this series with 4 runs batted in. Takes a close one, and it's a ball. 1-1. 28 runs batted in for Martinez in August, second in the National League, and tied for third in the majors. It's ball 2, and that 28 RBI figure is the most by any Astros rookie in any calendar month. Chris Truby had 27 runs batted in September of 2000. Two balls, 2 strikes.
I like the comparison to Helton and David Justice better.
Yeah.
Not to pick on Chris Truby.
Well, they're very well established players. Yeah. Up the middle and into center field, right over the second base bag for a 2-out single for J.D. Martinez. It was just like his bases loaded 2-run single last night, right back through the middle of the field. He had 3 hits last night.
Well, he's on his way again tonight. He's had a number of those games last 10 days or so. He's had a bunch of multi-hit games.
He's aboard for Carlos Lee, who sports an 11-game hitting streak, hitting .452 during that stretch, up to .274 for the season, with 75 runs batted in now for El Caballo. That's ball 1. Carlos is 4 for 8 in this series with a homer, 4 runs batted in, coming off a .462 road trip. So in August he has gotten it going. He's driven in 7 in his last 8 games. McDonald gets a strike call there, and it's a 1-ball 1-strike count. McDonald was born in Long Beach, California, an 11th round draft choice in '02 by the Dodgers. First made it to the big leagues in '08 with Los Angeles. It's 2-1 to Carlos. This is his longest hitting streak since September of '09, when he had a 12-game streak. Earlier this season he hit in 10 straight. Brian Bogusevic is on deck. It's off the plate, and it's 3-1. The Pirates are a man short tonight. They traded outfielder Matt Diaz today back to Atlanta. So Clint Hurdle's club will replace him come tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Rosters can be expanded as of tomorrow. Foul tip makes it a full count now, and an automatic running situation for Martinez at first.
McDonald has allowed 22 home runs this year. Has surrendered a long ball in 5 of his last 6 starts, and with that 4-seam fastball, he's going to be a guy who gets a lot of outs in the air and will give up the occasional long ball. Fastball away.
Martinez running, and it's in the air on the infield. Garrett Jones coming in from first, snags it for the 3rd out with no runs a hit, and a man stranded for the Astros. It's 0-0 after 1.
making cancer history, and it was on this date in 1990, the biggest trade ever. The Astros acquired minor league third baseman Jeff Bagwell from Boston for reliever Larry Anderson. That will always be remembered in Astro history.
You bet it will. Jay Happ with ball one high as inning number 2 begins with Ryan Domit, the switch hitting catcher, at the plate. Domit had 268, has 7 homers. He's driven in 23. Fouls that one back for a 1-ball-1-strike count to Domit. Domit's gone 2 for 19 in his last 6 games. Happ brings it in for a strike, and it's 1-2 for Jay. It's been a rough season for him with 4 wins, 15 losses, an ERA of 6.03, but a chance here to leave it on a good note here in the last 5 weeks or so as he returned to the rotation a few days ago. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it'll make that offseason pass a lot better if you could finish with a kick. Feel like he's figured some things out heading into spring training of next year. Well, not just for himself, but for the ball club too, as they look to next year and try to figure out what the rotation is going to look like.
Exactly. Comes in with it. It looked pretty good, but it's ball 3.
It would be nice to be able to pencil Jay in to the rotation, next year and feel good about it. Say, okay, we can count on this guy. But I think he's got to do a little work between now and the end of the season to be in that position.
Softly hit out to left center field. That loops in for a single for Domit. And the Pirates get their first base runner. Neil Walker will come up. Jays allowed a .295 batting average against him this year. 140 hits now and 126 in the 3rd innings. Neil Walker, .274 with 11 homers, has driven in 76.
And that's really the big difference for Jay from this year to last. The walk numbers are high this year, but they were high last year as well. But he yielded a very low batting average last season. And there's the one. That's the one that got him in San Francisco too. He made that pitch repeatedly, right around the bottom of the knees. He just couldn't get it called.
Walker's 1 for 8 in this series. Doug Brocail would like to see that be a strike. Kind of interesting. 2 balls, no strikes. What we were told was that Humberto Quintero had been told by the home plate umpire in San Francisco, well, you need to catch that ball out in front of you to get a strike call there on that pitch. Toward the right field corner, Bogusevic comes over, takes care of out number 1. And Walker's been a tough out this year. Now it's Garrett Jones.
So basically saying, because if you don't and I call it a strike, the other dugout's going to yell at me. So I need you to take me off the hook. Even if I think it's a strike, I'm not going to call it because Bruce Bochy's going to scream at me. This is a really big guy.
Not Mike Everett. He wasn't behind the plate for that game. Garrett Jones looking at strike 1. Jones is 0 for 4 in this series. 247, 15 homers. He's driven in 54. He's really heated up in the month of August in extra base hits. That's off the plate for a 1-ball-1-strike count. Let's see where he does receive that pitch.
He had to reach for it. It was down.
Can't get too far out there. It'll be catcher's interference.
Exactly.
1-2. You hear catchers talk all the time about the ball coming in to their mitt as they hold it back just in front of their body. Just framing the ball that way. The big hole on the left side of the infield. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Sanchez shading up the middle, as you see there. Pirates have really hit the skids. They've lost 29 of their last 40. They were in first place on July 20th. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now they're 18.5 games out.
They're not raising that Jolly Roger in Pittsburgh very often, like they were earlier in the year. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement for Pirate baseball.
Well, there sure was. Jones is down on strikes. That's number 3. Well, we saw a shot of Clint Hurdle there, and just to his right, to our left, was Jeff Bannister, who's from this area, the bench coach.
Garrett Jones way behind that fastball. Looks like he was thinking, I'm going to get a curveball. He's not going to throw me a fastball. He's going to throw me a hook here, 3-2, and Jay countered with a good heater. Jones way behind it.
Sure was. Josh Harrison comes up. Harrison looks at ball 1. 279 for Josh. 1 homer, 11 runs batted in. Those who follow the Pirates on a daily basis are pretty curious about Pedro Alvarez, whether he's going to be a September call-up or not. He has really struggled this year, both in AAA and in the major leagues. So Harrison's gotten in his playing time at third, part of the time anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brandon Wood has played there some. Obviously, the Buccos would love it if Alvarez would be the guy. He just hasn't earned it this year.
He's a strong kid, has a lot of power, tremendous college career at Vanderbilt, was the Pirates' first round pick. He might have been first overall, was he? Number 1-1?
Yep. Number 2.
Number 2. He's got some swing issues, from what I've been told.
Okay.
Needs to work on his swing a little bit.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, there have been reports that he had some waistline issues.
Yeah, but fat guys can hit.
Yeah, we've seen some.
Yeah.
Who's the best overweight hitter you can remember seeing?
Best overweight hitter.
We'll give you a while to think about that.
Big Daddy Fielder, Cecil Fielder.
Oh, yeah. Strikeout number 4 for Happ. No runs, a hit, and a man stranded. No score. Inning, Bogusevic, Paredes, and Sanchez 2 up against James McDonald, who gave up a 2-out single to J.D. Martinez in the first. And you mentioned that he had the lead, J.D., in that game in Pittsburgh against the Astros. Jay Happ started that game May 8th. 6 shutout innings for McDonald. He left with a 2-0 lead, but that got away. And that's been kind of a problem lately for him in getting wins. There have been 3 blown saves now in his last 5 starts. There's strike 1 to Bogusevic. 287 for Bryan. 4 homers, 14 driven in. He's 2 for 8 with an RBI in this series. And flips that one over Harrison into left field. Takes a big turn, and Presley gets to it to hold him to a single. That's a good sign for Bryan to go the other way. With his swing, he can pull a lot of balls. He hits them to the big part of the ballpark when he goes deep usually, but a few hits like that might be really meaningful for him.
I really like the way he went down the first baseline. He's treating this as anything but a routine single to left field. He's really going hard down that line, giving himself a chance to scoot into second if there's a little misplay out there. Slamming on those brakes, locking them up.
Heard those brakes all the way up here. Jimmy Paredes, the batter. He needs to get a brake job, doesn't he?
I think so. He got a bad pad.
Boy. Bogey with 3 steals in 5 attempts. And you mentioned the situation with the battery mates here. Doman's thrown out 16%.
It's not good.
Paredes bunts it, foul off the screen. Guys were out early today for bunting practice.
Go ahead and swing it, Jimmy.
296 for Jimmy when he does swing it. Very good results. 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. 449 slugging percentage. What Brad Mills likes is that he hits the ball hard to all fields. Sanchez on deck. That one goes over shortstop into left center. For a single, Bogusevic will hold at second on a good play into third base. Nice one-hop throw from Presley.
Good thing he didn't get that bunt down. At the bottom of the order coming up behind you, you don't want to be giving up outs. Well, you can hit like this man. A couple of board, a couple of guys that can run a little bit.
Something stirring here with Angel Sanchez, an excellent butter coming up. Let's see what he's up to at 242 with 1 homer, 25 runs batted in. Trying to snap an 0 for 10. And he might not really be trying to do that. He might be trying to advance the runners with a bunt. Move.
I don't think at this point in the lineup you can be bunting. 8-9 coming up behind you.
I have to agree with you, but we've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Dave Clark with signs. Giants made a couple of moves today, releasing Miguel Tejada and Aaron Rowan. They owe Rowan a lot of money for next year. Something like $12 million, we heard. There's a story in the paper today that Tejada was unhappy that he had been asked to sacrifice bunt on Sunday against the Astros.
He kind of jogged down the line after he got that bunt down. You could tell he wasn't happy. But boy, you got to know where you are in the game. He's had a real nice career, but not doing a whole lot for the Giants. So start complaining about being asked to bunt. You know, see, they were probably contemplating moving on anyway with Miggy.
Yeah.
Or letting him move on anyway.
Well, we were talking to some of the Giants folks when we were out there last weekend, and they indicated that there were about 3 candidates to be released at that point. Quintero on deck.
Pride is okay, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a burden.
Sure. Pirates are 9-5 against the Astros, but Houston has won 4 of the last 6. Little roller, stays fair, and that is a very good outcome for Angel Sanchez to snap the 0 for 10. An infield hit to load the bases.
And that's guy Clint Hurdle pacing in the Pirate dugout. The old, you got to be kidding me. Walk away. I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
From Clint. And Bogusevic's ball not hit well at all. Paredes was pretty well hit, but now this thing of beauty.
Bases loaded, nobody out for Q. Last night the Astros had their biggest inning of the year for hits with 7 hits in the 6-run 6th inning. And the runs tie their biggest. 300 career average with the bases loaded for Q. 1 for 2 with an RBI this season. Jay Happ's on deck. That's strike 1. Quintero 0 for 4 in his career against McDonald, who would love a strikeout here. Bogusevic, Paredes, and Sanchez, the base runners. The Astros as a team are hitting .262 with the bases loaded. Q's gone 4 for 7 his last 2 games. Chases that one. That was not a good pitch to select with this situation. Now it's 0-2.
He didn't like to call him that first curveball and then waved at that one, so you really got to just concentrate on staying back and trying to see that breaking ball a little better. When McDonald throws anything close to the plate here, it's a big mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he wouldn't get away with it, but his thinking should be another breaking ball way out of the zone or go way up with a heater.
Popped up to shallow right. Walker makes the catch, and the runners retreat to their bases on out number 1. A little bit more, and Quintero could have had a pop fly RBI single, but Walker had the angle on it. Now it's Jay Happ. Jay's driven in 4 with 1 homer, 1 double, 7 hits and 34 at bats, a .206 average. Walker tracked that one down.
Clearly the Pirates don't know that Jay Happ has home run power.
No, they don't.
Automaton right field. He's like the Little League World Series.
They obviously have not seen tape of that shot he hit out of here to right field. Strike 1 to Jay. Or maybe so, but they disregarded it.
Well, they're playing the percentages. He's much more likely to dump one in front of you than he is to hit it over your head. And with all these men on base and a little doinker would score 2, you're going to defend against that.
He homered here against Arizona May 29th. It's 1-1 to Jay. Jay left that game with a 2-1 lead when he hit the homer and then got a no decision. The Astros lost it late 4-2. Now around a bunt, but he takes a strike. 1-2 to Jay.
Wow, now I'm really confused.
Join the club. Bogusevic, Paredes, and Sanchez are the base runners.
I'm guessing somebody missed something.
Well, we've stayed confused for weeks at a time this year, JD. It's been a general state of confusion much of the year. Strike 3. 2 outs now for McDonald.
Well, he stayed out of the double play.
Yeah.
And may prove to be beneficial if Jordan Schaefer can deliver a big 2-out knock here. Mike Everett, the home plate umpire, has shown an inclination to call that high breaking ball. He did once or twice for Jay. Kind of like his strike zone so far. For the most part, he's been pretty big. He missed that one fastball down from Happ, but otherwise, calling strikes.
You'd like to be down there right now, wouldn't you?
A little small little dream world.
Jordan Schaefer hit a fly ball to center in the first. Strike 1 to Jordan.
Donald likes that curveball under pressure. He's gone to it more frequently here.
Schaefer has hit .333 in his first 9 games with the Astros.
You ready for that one in the dirt, Bogey?
0-2.
It's a nice combination of stuff. I mean, this is classic power pitching here. If you can get that curveball over for strike 1 and put that in the hitter's mind, so you're going to have a hard time getting to that 94-mile-an-hour heater. Now he's got all kinds of options. And again, either way up with a fastball or sharp breaker, try to drop it on top of home plate and try to go for a swing and a miss with that.
Early this month, he had back-to-back shutout games of 7 and 8 innings. Bouncer first. Jones with the play to McDonald to get Schaefer. And bases loaded, nobody out. It's no runs, 3 hits, 3 men left. No score after 2.
Between the Astros and Pirates. And hey, coming up this weekend, a lot of fun. Join the Astros for the second dog day of the 2011 season this Sunday. Purchase ticket package at astros.com/dog day and score bullpen box seats for you and your dog. An Astros dog leash and great pregame activities, all for just $40. Go to astros.com/dog day to get that done. I'm joined now by Mary Catherine Melanson, the wife of Astros pitcher Mark Melanson. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bart. Good to see you.
Now, you are in charge of the pet calendar for this year, and that's going to be part of the Dog Day activities, right?
That's right. This Sunday, we're selling the pet calendar. It goes on sale for the 2012 year, and you can buy it behind the Conoco Alley at Pet Day on September 4th.
And it'll cost fans?
Cost fans $10. All the proceeds go to the Houston Area Humane Society. So we're really excited about it. It's a really fun calendar.
I bet that was a fun photo shoot. We've done that story on the photo shoot before, and the guys have a lot of fun with it, don't they?
It's so much fun. The Humane Society brings a whole lot of dogs, and the guys get to pick their dogs and get in the pictures with them, and cats. Jason Michaels loves the kittens. So we really have a good time with it, and it goes to a great cause. It's really important to support the Humane Society.
And tell the folks about your dog. I love his name.
Mark and I's dog is Louis Holtz. I'm a Notre Dame grad. And he's a golden retriever. He's 8 months old now, and he's just a bundle of joy.
Well, this is a great project that you guys do. And again, all of the funds, the proceeds from the sale of the calendar, go to the Humane Society. They receive no funding, governmental funding, local, state, or federal. So this is a big part of their budget every year, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. The calendars are only $10. They're great. They're really fun. And we're going to have a raffle going on our booth in the Phillips Alley on the 4th. It's going to be a really great.
Again, it's all part of the Dog Day here at Minute Maid Park coming up on Sunday. A lot of fun. In addition to the calendar guys, are going to have a pooch parade at 11:45. Costume contest beginning at 12:30. Pets dressed as people. You got to love that. Mary Catherine, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
Mary Catherine's had quite a summer. She was co-chair of the gala too. That's a sharp single up the middle of the field underneath the glove of Jay Happ. So McDonald is on.
Notre Dame alone. They get things done.
That's true.
Although I think I would have named the dog Newt.
Newt?
Or Digger.
Okay.
Or Rudy.
Rudy would be good. Tabata hits a foul ball. There's strike one. Lou Holtz, usually you don't name dogs with both names, do you? First and last?
Kind of like that, yeah. Lou.
It's a different touch.
Our dog Lou Holtz.
Wonder if they ever shorten it, or it has to be Lou Holtz every time they call him. We'll have to find that out.
Here, Lou Holtz.
Stay tuned. Friday night, we'll have an update on that for you. Snap throw to first. Ooh, that was pretty close. McDonald got a little frisky. He was off base a few feet. No balls, 2 strikes on Tabata. The stealth technology of Q.
Yeah, they can't even see him back there.
No. He's undetectable. One and two. Well, if he were to wear that thing driving home, they could never get him on a radar gun.
I don't want to be the officer that pulls him over and he's sitting there with a helmet on.
Altuve with a toss. Sanchez, a middleman. 4-6-3 double play. And it's no runs a hit, nobody left. No score in the third.
This summer, you can find out how giving back battle caps can give returning vets a piece of the high life. Go to MillerHighLife.com for details. And we always have some veterans in the crowd every night. There are some scattered around.
And we have the 2 special seats for veterans. In fact, very good seats behind home plate every single game. 0-0 ball game. The Astros had a bases loaded, nobody out situation in the second. McDonald working his way out of that, getting Quintero, Happ, and Schaefer. Now it's Altuve, Martinez, and Lee here in the third inning. Interesting feature on Jose Altuve in today's Sports Weekly on the Getting to Know page. They did a whole page on him. And on his iPod is Chino Inacho. Altuve struck out in the first inning. It's ball 1, so they'll be giving the concert, and you'll get to meet them.
Maybe he'll jump up there on stage, sing a little bit.
Not a bad thought. His favorite big leaguer he admires the most growing up is Dave Concepcion. Venezuela. He likes shortstops. He was a shortstop before he converted to second base. He signed at age 16. Hadn't graduated from high school yet. Fly ball near the left field line. 3 players giving chase. Cedeno reaches back. That's out number 1.
David Concepcion had to be done playing shortly after this kid was born.
That's true.
But the legend of Dave Concepcion is large in Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, one of the many outstanding Venezuelan shortstops. J.D. Martinez singled with 2 outs in the first inning.
In fact, Dave Concepcion's career ended before Jose was born.
How about that?
At least in the States. Maybe Davey continued to play over in Venezuela. But, Jose born in 1990. Concepcion retired in '88.
Cedeno Grabs that little pop-up off the bat of Martinez. 2 outs. Martinez can put himself in some high cotton with another RBI tonight, tying the National League record for runs batted in August by a rookie of 29.
What I'm trying to find out is the Major League record for RBIs in any month by a rookie.
Yeah. We don't know that, do we?
I don't know it.
Then we don't know it.
Somebody must know it. Somebody out there knows it. This is a shout out from the Cash Cab. I need to know this.
Well, in the words of the famous Robert Dole, JD, you know it, I know it, the American people know it. That's a strike, and it's 2-1 to Carlos, who popped up on a 3-2 count in the first inning. We'll find out. We'll be on a mission.
Yeah. And I've got the RBIs in a month by any player, not a rookie. I got those numbers.
All right. Carlos gets a 2-out single. That's a 12-game hitting streak for Carlos.
The great Sam Thompson in 1894 drove in 61 runs in a month.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
1894?
1894.
How about modern times after 90?
Well, let's move forward here. The great Joe DiMaggio drove in 53 in a month in 1939.
53 in a month. That is ridiculous.
Juan Gonzalez drove in 35 in 1998. In the month of April. Talk about getting up to a great start, putting some stats in the bank. My goodness.
Yeah. Well,
Igor.
And you heard Art Howe mention Juan Gonzalez and JD Martinez on the pregame show. Astros Live. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wouldn't that be something?
I see some similarities in JD's swing to Igor's.
Bogusevic singled over the third baseman's head and was stranded at third in the second inning. Donald missing high, and it's a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Next week, the Astros will be in Pittsburgh Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll have a Labor Day afternoon game on Monday. Foul straight back. 2-2. Big news last night from Baltimore. Apparently Andy McPhail is going to step down at the end of this season with the Orioles.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. It has not been announced. Apparently they do not intend to announce it until the season's over, but his contract ends at the end of October. So that was the report from Bob Nightingale last night.
Bob is rarely wrong.
True. And it's interesting that one of the prime candidates, according to the rumor mill, to take over is Brian Cashman of the Yankees.
Yeah, I think there's just an assumption that people that work for the Yankees eventually want to get out of there. I mean, because you hear Cashman's name associated with all these openings, Chicago and Boston a couple of years back.
Carlos takes off and it's foul.
The Yankee job is interesting. Is that once Carlos flashing some signs there. It's probably the best job and the worst job all at the same time.
Jack Zarensik of Seattle has signed a multi-year extension to remain on as their general manager. But as you know, the Cubs are looking. Andrew Friedman's name is out there, the Tampa Bay GM. Swing and a miss, and Bogusevic is down on strikes. That's number 3. And it ends a scoreless third in a scoreless game. United, proud to fly the Houston Astros. The last 6 days, the Astros are 4th in the league with a 2.10 team ERA. Presley shortens up on it and takes strike one as the 4th inning begins for AT HOU. Presley hit a fly ball to left earlier.
Astros cheat a little bit towards left field for Presley, especially with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. He's much more likely to go the other way than to pull the ball. If you hang him a breaking ball.
One ball, 2 strikes for Jay.
The modern player really knows how to accessorize. The matching batting gloves, the matching necklace. Check that out. He's stylish, looking good. He needs to get a colored shin guard, though.
Schaefer backing in center.
As to our earlier conversation, Babe Ruth was a pretty good fat hitter too.
True.
Well, he wasn't, he wasn't beefy his whole career. He still did a lot of damage after he put on weight.
He ate a lot of hot dogs. 1 out, and it's McCutchen coming up. He struck out in the 1st inning. McCutchen takes it for a strike.
Nice. Good pitch. Just missed that outside edge, but I like the way he's attacking that outside corner down around the knees. I also like his tempo, not wasting time between pitches.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he's almost never taking his eyes off of home plate. And he gets the ball back, couple steps back to the rubber, then he locks back in on the target.
Ground ball goes foul, and it's still a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Here's the play in the hole. Sanchez with a very, very good throw. The third baseman crossing in front of him. Paredes stayed with it and got McCutchen, a speedy runner. Clint Barmas getting a night off. Here's a good play.
No time to waste with McCutchen going down the line. Come and get that 2 hopper. Good strong throw. Well done.
Ryan Domet single to left center in the 2nd inning. Strike 1 to him. Well, we can't find that rookie record period. We still have to look at that. Come up with it later on. 4 runs batted in any given month. It's 1-1. Heads outside the right field line and back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jason Castro is here working out with the Astros this week. And at some point, probably next week, he'll go back to Florida. But the Astros really think that he's making great progress after knee surgery earlier this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And he may go play in the Arizona Fall League, correct?
Yes.
Important for him to get some at bats, get some playing time heading into next spring.
It really is, and we're talking with Brad Mills about the catching situation for next year, and what could be expected reasonably from Jason Castro if he continues to be on this very good course of recovery. Fly ball to center field, caught by Schaefer. In the 4th, it goes quickly in 1-2-3 fashion for Happ to keep this one scoreless. Out chance in the second. Hope to get on the board first with Paredes, Sanchez, and Quintero due up in the Astros fourth. Fans walking the wide concourses here. Tomorrow's an off day. Things will be pretty quiet around here, and then Friday night, front-running Milwaukee Brewers come to town, and they have been absolutely sizzling to the tune of 21-6 in the month of August.
Putting up a seemingly insurmountable lead over the Cardinals. Although the Cardinals beat them last night. Still a very comfortable margin for the Brewers coming into play tonight. They had a 9.5 game lead over St. Louis. They're tied 2-2 now in Milwaukee after 3.
Albert Pujols hit his 32nd homer. Rafael Furcal number 4 for the Redbirds. Jimmy Paredes takes ball 1 high. He's single to left center in the second. Corey Hart has unloaded his 22nd for the Brewers. (2-0). Apparently Lance Berkman, according to stories, had told the Cardinals if they traded him, and there were rumors that he had been claimed on waivers by the Rangers and he might be traded there, that he would not re-sign with them for next year. That may not be true, but that was the report. 2 balls and a strike. Jake Westbrook tonight for St. Louis. Randy Wolf is on the mound for Milwaukee. Make it a 3-0 count here. And that's ball 4 to Paredes. The guy who can steal a base just receives the leadoff walk. He's 3 for 6 in steals.
This walk issued by McDonald tonight, and really not coming close with that fastball to Paredes.
See if he'll be running here with Sanchez the batter. Got a little infield roller for a single in the second inning. And it might be a situation in which he's going to swing the bat too with Paredes running. Quintero's on deck. Upstairs, ball 1.
Wow, he just can't find a way to get the ball down. Saw something mechanically or just wanted to put something positive into his mind. And to think curveball in this situation. Well, this kind of changes the dynamic over there in the Astros dugout. If you're thinking about running Paredes, you might think, well, let's wait a pitch or two here. This guy can't find the strike zone. Why take a risk of being thrown out? And he might just walk another hitter.
Sure. Strike evens the count at 1-1.
So he's established the ability to throw a strike again. So now I think the running game's back in play.
Sanchez taking a long look down at Dave Clark. Dodgers won 4-2 over San Diego this afternoon. Lily being LeBlanc. They're headed for Pittsburgh now. Lily's now 9-13. LeBlanc goes to 2-4. Javi Guerra got his 13th save. Rod Barajas hit his 15th home run.
Sweep of the Padres by the Dodgers.
Dodgers are 5 games under 500 now. Throw goes over on Paredes. Dodgers have to be loving this 1-game makeup in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's fun. That's always fun. Where do they go after that?
Not sure. We need to check on that, see if it's anywhere within. There goes the runner, and a ground ball goes on through into left field. Paredes is going to hustle to third base, and it's first and third as Sanchez has a 2-for-2 night. It's a good start.
Yeah, I like the play. I like starting the runner there. Go ahead, swing the bat. Try to create some movements down to the double play. And make it a little bit easier for 8-9 to get something done here.
Paredes just kept on chugging. Now first and third for Quintero. Quintero popped the second. Colorado and Arizona start later. Arizona really pouring it on. Holmeter and Rogers tonight. And strike 1.
Dodgers go on to Atlanta after their game tomorrow.
Okay.
That's not so much.
No, could be worse.
These guys are well compensated. They can handle it.
True. Minnesota beat the White Sox 7-6. setback for Chicago. Did you see what Ozzie Guillen said about managing next year?
Yeah, I noticed that last night. He doesn't get an extension. He's going to walk away.
Interesting.
He doesn't want to be a lame duck.
Little tap. Domet looks the runner back to third. He's coming home though. The throw from Jones. He throws it away, and Peretta scores. Sanchez winds up at third base.
Brad Mills can argue that this second run should come home as well.
Yeah. Bobby Meacham was pointing in toward home plate from first on the overthrow, and now Brad Mills is pressing his case with the home plate umpire tonight, Mike Everett. And they'll go back and talk to the third base umpire, Mike Winters. He's the crew chief, about that situation with the ball being thrown out of play.
Well, the Astros get a lot done with these swinging bunts tonight. A great daring on the base pass by Jimmy Paredes. I think Domet, had he had time, probably should have scrambled back to put himself in a position to handle this throw. It was a horrible throw to begin with, so I guess it doesn't matter.
It was a bad throw. No doubt about that from Garrett Jones. That'll be his fourth error of the year. But the Astros don't win the argument. Sanchez had just stepped on second when that throw went wild. So he gets one additional base. That puts him at third. And he's there with one out for Jay Happ, who comes down and talks with Dave Clark. So it's an error on Jones. No RBI for Quintero on that play. Now the infield moves in. Happ takes it. The appeal goes down to third. Check swing call, ball one. Jay struck out looking in the second inning. Pirates have made 98 errors this year. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Detroit beat Kansas City 5-4. Daniel Schlereth won that one. 40th save for Jose Valverde.
Grande having a big year.
He really is.
The rule is 2 bases on an overthrow. It's the first play by an infielder. And the ruling is governed by the position of the runners at the time the ball was pitched.
So he got 2 bases. He was at first when the ball was pitched. Strike, and it's 2-2. So the first play by an infielder.
That was actually the second play.
Yes, it was.
So I'm guessing that's just 1 base. That's probably the clarification Brad Mills is looking for.
Yeah, it says in all other cases the umpire shall be governed by the position of the runners at the time the wild throw was made. All right. Happ fouls it back, so he must not have been to second base when that throw was made. He was close. Like on that replay. 3-2. Jay Happ. Now he's at third, and with 1 out, Jay Happ tries to send him home for a 2-0 lead. And fouls it back. St. Louis just got 4 in the 4th inning at Milwaukee to lead now 6-2. Jake Westbrook hit a home run.
Good night for pitchers hitting. Derek Lowe went deep for Atlanta tonight.
Oh. Braves lead Washington 3-1 in the 8th now. Happ draws a walk. His 3rd walk of the year. And now is Schaefer with runners at first and third and 1 out.
James McDonald just having a devil of a time getting his fastball down, even with the opposing pitcher up there.
Jeff Bannister, Clint Hurdle talk it over. Schaefer's 0 for 2. A fly ball to center, a ground ball to first. We go to Greg Lucas.
I'm down here on the field, and I'm going to tell you about something that's coming up on Labor Day. Actually, it's a Labor Day Super Saver sale. It's going on today through Monday. Purchase tickets to any September Astros home game in the field boxes for only $15 or in the upper deck for only $5. A pretty good deal. Visit Astros.com/Labor Day for tickets. I had almost forgotten about that great deal. How could I forget about that great deal?
That one, Greg.
Yeah, that's too good. That's too good for anybody to forget.
You bet. Runners at first and third now, 1 out. And it is Schaefer coming up. Double play depth with Walker and Cedeno. Sanchez the runner in third. 6 hits for Houston, 2 for Pittsburgh tonight. Bunted, and that'll get the run home. And it'll mean everybody's safe as well, as there's confusion between McDonald and Jones. As Schaefer puts down a bunt right in between McDonald and Jones and reaches on it to make it 2-0.
Well, you love having a guy like Schaefer up there in that situation. Very similar to the play last night when Jose Altuve pushed a bunt between the pitcher's mound and first base for a base hit. Same situation here. It's not a squeeze play. Sanchez just coming down the line, reading the bunt. He sees it down and says, yeah, I can score on that. And Schaefer ends up with a base hit.
Very well placed. And an RBI, number 12 of the year for Schaefer. Now it's 2-0, and Altuve has runners at first and second with 1 out. Altuve takes ball 1.
Back-to-back games with bunt RBIs. You don't see that very often.
No, Altuve had one last night. You're right. Altuve has a very good command of English. Even though he did not go to college, he said that English was actually his best course in high school, and he continued to work on that through the courses the Astros offer to their minor leaguers, and he went to more of the advanced classes to push himself harder. Up the middle, and it rolls slowly. Cedeno stepping on second, throwing to first, double play, and the Astros come up with 2 runs, 2 hits with an error, a man left, and after 4 they lead it 2-0. Sports Houston is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Come try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99 plus tax at Jack in the Box participating restaurants. And by HP. Everybody on. 2-0 Astros after 4 tonight. They have 7 hits. They've all been singles. And Jay Happ now has the lead after pitching scoreless ball through 4 innings. He drew a walk in that 4th for the Astros, and now it'll be Walker, Jones, and Harrison due up in the Bucco 5th.
Astros kind of seized the control of the game in the 4th. Jay sailing along here against this Pirate club that has really been struggling, so this is where you really want to just boom, 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 shut them down. 3 quick outs, get the boys back in the dugout. Never-ending pursuit to find this rookie RBI record. Chatting during the break about Rudy York. Today is the anniversary of Rudy York hitting 2 home runs to give him 18 home runs in the month of August of 1937 of his rookie year. He drove in 50 that month.
Good.
So that very well could be the rookie record for RBIs in a month.
Yeah, 50 should do it.
We're going to operate under that assumption until we hear otherwise.
That's probably pretty proven.
Unless we go back to Sam Thompson in 1894 or something like that.
We don't count anything before 1900 around here, JD.
No.
We're making up our own rules, sticking with it. Modern day baseball is generally regarded as 1903 on. That was the year of the first World Series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Before 1900, there were different rules in use, so it's hard to compare. So 18 homers for Rudy York in his rookie year in August. Sanchez to his left. Going on to first. 50 runs batted in.
Yeah.
What a month.
Pretty good.
1 down for Happ, and now it's Jones. Jones struck out in the 2nd inning. Tampa Bay leads 3-0 at Texas after 3. Complete game. James on the mound. James Shields has 10 complete games. Well, if he has one tonight, that's a story. And that heat in Arlington. He's only thrown 43 pitches through 3. There's ball 1 to Jones. Harrison's on deck. That's a strike, and it's even at 1-1.
Giants with a critical win today. They beat the Cubs 4-0 behind Madison Bumgarner. Boy, he was really good. Punched out 11, allowed just 2 hits.
Saw him on the highlights. He had that sweeping breaking ball working for him.
Keppinger and the Kung Fu Panda went deep for San Francisco.
Somebody hit one in the water. I think it was the Panda.
Probably. I guarantee it wasn't Kep.
Fouled away. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Fly ball off the end of the bat, and this might fall in for a hit. J.D. Martinez comes over. No, it's a foul ball. Official score is changing the ruling on the play on Quintero's little roller. All right. We had 1 error on Jones. That's the error. Okay. That's the way we had it. Okay.
Fielder's choice, no RBI. E3 allowing Angel Sanchez to move up to 3rd base.
Okay.
That's what we had.
Yeah.
They're just clarifying things.
Good. It's good to clarify. Altuve to his left. Waits for Lee to get to the bag. Flips it to him. 2 outs.
Okay, 2/3 of the way towards that quick 1-2-3 shutdown inning.
And it's Harrison batting next. He struck out. Yankees just got 4 in the top of the 6th. They lead Boston 5-4. Middle of the 6th inning. Those 2 teams do play some long games, don't they?
Oh my goodness.
And they do get after each other. It's Toronto 13, Baltimore nothing after 8. There's strike 1 to Harrison.
Molina, Batista, Encarnacion, and Johnson have all gone deep. Kelly Johnson with his first in a Blue Jay uniform. It's number 39 for Jose Bautista.
Alex Anthopoulos, the general manager of the Blue Jays, is accumulating some real talent offensively.
20 hits in that ball game for the Jays tonight.
We got Kelly Johnson with legitimate power. Colby Rasmus. He hasn't really figured it out yet. That's quite a lineup. Catcher Aaron Sebia near the top offensively for catchers. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and it looks like Edwin Encarnacion is starting to figure it out a little bit too.
True.
When he first came up with the Reds, there were high expectations and never really fulfilled them. He had 26 bombs in 2008 for them, but other than that, I think he was regarded as kind of a disappointment in Cincinnati.
I have to agree with you. Foul back. Cedeno's on deck. Oakland and Cleveland are tied 3-3. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Kurt Suzuki hit his 13th for the A's. Jack Hanahan has hit a couple, giving him 8 for the Tribe. That's ball 4 to Harrison. First walk for Happ.
Jay probably wishing he could have that one back, trying to clip that inside corner and miss, probably wishing that he was a little more willing with that hitter, 2 outs, nobody on, to challenge more of the strike zone.
Cedeno grounded out to short first time up, taking ball 1 there.
Ball 1 on the knees over the plate again. You see the body language from Happ. See the head go down from Doug.
Now 2-0. Cliff Lee's pitching another beauty. Phillies lead the Reds 3-0 at Cincinnati after 7. Hunter Pence hit his 18th homer. It came off Dontrell Willis. Lee's allowed 4 hits and no runs through 7. No walks, 6 strikeouts for Cliff.
Game 3 of a 4-game set. Philadelphia won the opener 3-2. That was behind Hamels. Last night behind Halladay 9-0, and now another shutout going. The Reds feeling it, the full force of that Philly pitching staff,
aren't they? Florida 2, the Mets 2. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Citi Field. Jose Reyes has returned to the lineup. He's the batting leader in the National League. Terry Collins plans to give him a rest from time to time in September because of all the leg injuries he's had. And a miss there. Takes the count full on Cedeno. Pitcher McDonald on deck. Jay can pitch up there successfully. Now on 3-2, Harrison takes off from first. Carlos Lee backs up. And it's a strikeout to end the top of the 5th for Jay Happ. That's number 5 for Jay. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 2-0 Astros. in the fourth inning. They got 2 hits, 2 walks, and an error in that inning. In the second, they loaded the bases with nobody out, but then James McDonald got tough, retiring Quintero, Happ, and Schaefer. Now as McDonald works the fifth, it's J.D. Martinez up first. He has a single and 2 tries. It's the curve, and there's strike 1 to Martinez.
Astros have had a lot of base runners. The only real good scoring chances, but they've only scored 2, so it's still a very close ball game.
No balls, 2 strikes. A lot of energy with the young players on the bench, in the clubhouse. On Astros Live, Clint Barmas talked about that. Greg Lucas, the changeover on the team this year, a lot of new folks. Grounded foul, it's still 0-2.
Nice play, Jeff Bannister.
Very good play. Jeff has had a few nights at home. It's been nice for him. Nick Levis alongside, former Major League manager. And a strikeout for McDonald, takes care of out number 1. That's his 4th. Carlos Lee's coming up. He singled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. He'll take a 12-game hitting streak through the off day and back at him Friday night against Milwaukee. Phil Boudreau has been doing some calculating. The Astros have used 44 different players this season. The club record is 48. One ball, 1 strike. He used 48 in 1965 and again last year. Lucas Harrell, who will be pitching Friday night, will be number 45. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lucas will not be making his major league debut. He's been in the big leagues briefly with the White Sox. Foul back. It's 2-2. He appeared this year in June, in fact, with the White Sox, but will be making his Astros debut Friday night against Milwaukee, and Zach Greinke, a 13-game winner. Those games will be on May 20, all 3 this weekend. Friday night at 7:05, Saturday night at 6:05, Sunday at 1:05. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Greinke and Harrell, Narveson and Norris, Markham and Rodriguez.
Yeah, first look at Greinke, wasn't it?
I believe so. Strikeout number 5.
Well, folks, you can celebrate Hispanic Heritage Night with the Astros this Saturday. The Brewers and the Astros will get it on Saturday night in a free post-game concert with urban Latin duo Chino y Nacho. Your game ticket is also your ticket to the concert. Tickets are available at astros.com/nacho. And perhaps even Jose Altuve.
He might chime in. He's a big fan of that group. Grammy Award-winning group. There is ball 1 to Bogusevic. He singled to left in the 2nd inning, 1 for 2. Paredes on deck.
Good swing.
McDonald's breaking pitch stays a little high. That makes it 2-1. The Astros have not swept a series at home all year. They swept in Chicago back in late May and early June. Last year they swept all 3 of their home series against the Pirates, going 9-0 here at Minute Maid against the Buccos. Last home sweep period was a 3-gamer against St. Louis last year, August 30th through September 1st. Shortstop Cedeno broke back. Now he comes in. It's a 1-2-3 fifth for McDonald and a 2-0 lead for Houston. Showing you Jay Happ on the mound. He gets a ground ball. Altuve, backhanded flip. There it is, frozen as the ball comes out of his hand. Sanchez, he goes 4-6-3 on a ball hit by Tabata in the third inning.
He can play the position. We've been talking a lot about his ability with the bat. He's a good defender too. Pretty much fearless out there on the double play.
Yeah. McDonald takes strike one. McDonald singled in the third, one of only 2 Pirate hits. Both have been singles. Altuve, of course, finds it interesting that people are so fascinated with his size. He says more so in America than in Venezuela. He draws inspiration from Dustin Pedroia, David Eckstein. Strikeout looking. McDonald is victim number 6. He's very well aware of Joe Morgan too. Jose Tabata struck out looking to open the game, bounced into that double play you just saw. Happ shooting for win number 5 of the season. There's ball one. So the September 1st date comes tomorrow. The Astros are off. We could be seeing some additional players as of Friday night. They probably will not call up very many in the month of September. And Sergio Escalona is on the disabled list right now, and Venerio Del Rosario, who's been pitching at Oklahoma City. The plan is for EDR to pitch again tonight. That would be back-to-back games for him. So you could be seeing those 2 guys coming off the DL. 2 balls and a strike, and then Jordan Lyles will be back as a reliever in September. Not sure whether it will be Friday or their season ends September 5th. Foul back into a booth next door. Milo catch that one? No, further down. Anderson Hernandez, by the way, has a hit tonight in the first inning.
Bob Walk.
Bob Walk got it. It looked pretty good, but apparently it's a ball. Q started to throw the ball around. Bob Walk came up with a big play.
I think he hurt his hands.
Looks like it. Anderson Hernandez now with a 29-game hitting streak for Oklahoma City. Got a first inning single tonight. That's up the middle, slowly ahead. Altuve charging. And a stretching Carlos Lee is there for out number 2.
Both these pitchers effectively getting in on the hands of the hitters tonight. That ball just right off the thumbs of Tabata.
Yeah. Presley's the batter. Altuve, by the way, is going to play winter ball in Venezuela. And somebody said to him, wow, well, you've been playing all season long. You're going to go play winter ball? He said, I'm 21 years old.
Yeah, he's a young man.
There's strike one for Jay Happ. McCutcheon's on deck. Pitching lines, 2 runs, 1 earned, allowed by McDonald on 7 hits. Happ has been stingy, only 2 singles off him. 0-2 to Presley. Pirates are 15-30 since the All-Star break. The Astros 16-28 since then. Pirates are, with 86 extra base hits this month, 3rd among all National League teams, behind the Cubs and Colorado. No extra base hits off Happ tonight. He's thrown 13 of 20 first pitch strikes. That's a big improvement we've seen in Jay. 1-2.
Last time out in San Francisco, he faced 26 hitters through strike 1. First pitch strikes to 17 of the 26.
Schaefer in center. Handles a 3rd out. Pirates bats are quiet tonight. Jay Happ with a shutout through 6 leads 2-0. The 6th inning begins for James McDonald. We gave up 2 in that 4th inning. There was an error on Jones allowing 1 to score, and then Jordan Schaefer bunted home a run. Now Jimmy Paredes swings, and there's strike 1 to Jimmy. He's been on both times with a single and a walk, and he scored that first run. Sanchez on deck. Quintero to follow. No balls, 2 strikes. And the fastball works for a strikeout.
Taking the school right there.
Greg?
All right, AT&T trivia time. This one is going to show your math skills, or if you can figure out what this formula means.
Okay.
The AT&T trivia question: 26 plus 26 equals 2 hour, or I should say 2:30 a.m.
Oh.
Pirate lore, what does that mean in relation to Houston?
Oh boy. 26 plus 26, 2:30 a.m.
26 inning game.
Not exactly.
Okay. Presley in left center. Retires Sanchez, 2 outs. Not exactly, he says.
Well, it's
26 inning game. We didn't have one of those.
It's from 1963.
Okay.
I'll give you the 2:30. The 2:30 a.m. is the latest game in Pittsburgh history, latest finish.
Okay.
So how'd they get there? What's the 26 plus 26?
Don't know.
Well, you're right on. One of them is innings. But it's not a
26
game.
total runs.
Well, that's half of it.
Okay.
The other half is innings, but it's not a game.
Quintero lines to center field. Stay tuned for this fascinating answer in just a moment.
Leads it. Our trivia question was 26 plus 26 equals 2:30 a.m. Here's the answer. It's the latest game finish in Pittsburgh history. After two games, 15-11 in the innings, and each team scored 7-6 victories. So there were 26 runs and 26 innings, but it was a double header. That's the only thing it was missing. But because it was missing, the bell shall not toll tonight.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sorry. It's only the second time all year. But, we had a real fast half inning, guys. Pitchers are too good, and this guy's been really good.
We still wouldn't have gotten it. Strike one to McCutchen. He's 0 for 2. So the Russell bell stays quiet.
Yeah, that was the longest game in Pirate history. Colt 45s and Pirates in '63 at Forbes Field.
Bogusevic in right field waiting for this McCutchen fly ball. Jay Happ has gone 6 1/3. Here's what's going on with Jay.
Well, he's been able to move that fastball up and down, in and out in the strike zone. There's a curveball there. And that well-located fastball has really been the key for him. He's worked off that effectively. The occasional changeup. Standing performance and fairly typical of Jay's. Get some strikeouts and a number of outs in the air.
Doma takes ball 1. He has 1 of 2 singles, and there's been a walk. No Pirate has reached second base tonight. Lefty Tony Watson's warming up as this fly ball heads for Schaefer in right center. Jay's had a few of those going for him tonight, along with 6 strikeouts.
Strikeouts and lazy fly balls. If he's getting that, then he's on his game.
7 fly ball outs, 3 in a row now. Walker has 1 of those fly balls that went to right field in the second, and a ground out in the 5th. Brad Lincoln of the University of Houston will be pitching tomorrow for the Pirates at home against the Dodgers in that makeup game. So he should be facing the Astros in Pittsburgh next week. Strike to Walker.
I suspect he's back in Pittsburgh right now.
Probably is.
Roll into town till about 3 o'clock this morning.
Their plan apparently is to show up about 2 for that 4 o'clock game. Not take batting practice. They didn't take BP tonight. Trying to conserve their energy. We go to Greg.
Big trade tonight involving a former popular Pirate. Jack Wilson has been traded to the Braves from the Mariners for a player to be named later. He's currently on the DL, but he'll be eligible to return Friday. So he is now a Brave.
Looped out into right center field. That will fall for a hit. Walker's aboard with the 3rd single by a bucko tonight. Well, apparently to be just a reserve infielder. Rosters are expanded in September. Jack Wilson joining the Atlanta Braves. Rangers picked up a couple of players today. And they called up a Cuban-born outfielder last night, with Nelson Cruz out with an injury.
Yeah, they got Mike Gonzalez from the Orioles, left-handed reliever.
Strike 1 to Garrett Jones. I think they also got catcher Matt Trainer.
They did. Yeah.
Jones 0 for 2. Most teams call up a catcher in September. All the extra pitchers they have. Infield shifted around, playing Jones to pull. It's 1-1. I was talking about Jason Castro earlier, JD, and I asked Brad Mills, could you count on him for maybe starting half the games next year if everything goes extremely well? I said, well, maybe. It's hard to say. Would you be open to a 3rd catcher? Yeah, probably. But he said, if we did that, I'd like to have a catcher who can play other positions on the infield as well.
Well, if he plays well, I'd hope he'd catch more than half the games.
True.
I'd treat him as the #1 catcher, catch him as much as possible.
He feels that he's going to have to give Jason days off with that knee. Fly ball goes to left, and Martinez heads back toward the bullpen and took a good route to that one. Got there early for out number 3. No runs, a hit. Runner stranded in the middle of the 7th. It's 2-0 Houston.
Whataburger, just like you like it. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Think it's possible for anyone to have a collection like that? Well, they got one.
Well, we have changes for both clubs now. It's 2-0 Houston. Fans enjoying the 7th inning stretch, hoping the Astros get their first home series sweep of the year in a 3-game set. First since late last August, early September against the Cardinals. Jay Happ is coming out of this game after 110 pitches for a pinch hitter, Jason Michaels. What a job for Jay tonight. 7 innings of 3-hit, no-run baseball. Nobody reached second base. He walked 1 and struck out 6. Tony Watson's in the game for Pittsburgh. He's 1-2 with a 4.75 ERA.
Jay, a hard luck loser last time out in San Francisco. Now an opportunity to pick up his 5th win of the season. It's in the sole left-hander in the bullpen for Clint Hurdle's Pirates. He has really struggled lately, including his outing here the other night, in which he allowed 3 hits and a run in 1 inning of work. He's allowed runs in 3 in a row and 5 of his last 6 appearances.
Michael's a former Pirate at 200 with 2 homers, has 10 runs batted in. Looks at that one to even the count at 1-1. J. Mike 0 for 1 in this series. Had a pinch double and drove in a run with it Sunday at San Francisco. Fernando Rodriguez is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Count goes to 2-1. Brett Myers pitched 2 innings in relief last night, and he's away from the club now, awaiting the birth of his 4th child. It's out to left field. Presley in a few steps. And it's out number 1. McDonald in 6 innings allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. Walking 2, Fanning 6. Happ through 110 pitches, 71 for strikes. Jordan Schaefer with a bunt RBI single in the 4th inning is 1 for 3. Watson is facing the Astros for the 5th time this season. He had 2 holds early in the year here in a Pirates sweep at Houston in mid-June, and 1-0 and 5-4 Bucko wins. Strike 1. Astros 11-17 in the month of August. Tapped out to second. Walker quickly on to Jones. 2 outs. Last night, Jose Altuve hit his first outside the park homer. It's our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. He hit an inside the park homer earlier. This is number 2 as a major leaguer. And there's another footnote to that one. It was the first home run allowed by right-hander Charlie Morton in 338 at bats against right-handed hitters. Now Altuve comes up for the 4th time. Taking strike 1. 22,118 the paid attendance. This one heads for center, and McCutchen back a few steps, gets underneath it for the 3rd out. We move to the 8th inning. Astros 2, Pirates nothing.
Of course, as you know, high school football is back, and each week throughout the season we'll give you a chance to see some of Texas's best gridiron matchups online. Just log on to foxsportshouston.com and check out the best high school football in the state. We continue our coverage Saturday night at 6 p.m. with Alvin High School versus Dobie High School. Join us all season long as Fox Sports Houston, your home for high school football in Texas.
Thanks, Greg. We have bullpen action now for the Astros. Fernando Rodriguez takes over on the mound with a 2-3 record, a 3.29 ERA for 37 appearances with the Astros.
First appearance in this series for Fernando. Worked 3 times on the road trip. Suffered a loss in Colorado, and then the next time out in San Francisco also was a losing pitcher, and then finally pitched 2/3 scoreless in the Astros 4-3 win in San Fran. But overall, he's having a very nice year. Pirates are going to have to deal with a guy who's going to come right over the top with a 92 to 94 mile an hour heater, with sharp breaking ball, and the occasional changeup.
It'll be the bottom of the order here against him in the 8th inning. Josh Harrison leads it off. Harrison has struck out and walked. Very good night for Jay Happ. Cedeno's on deck. Pitcher's spot comes up third. Pirates are warming up a right-hander, preparing to pinch hit for Watson. Jose Veras is the man warming up. Here's ball 1. Fernando has struck out 46 in his 41 innings. He's done a great job of stranding inherited runners. Bunted, and that's going to stay fair. Barehanded, no play. Just an outstanding bunt for a single by Harrison.
Bradish coming aggressively, barehanding that ball, but he had no throw. Probably would have been better off letting it go. It's just starting to leak a little bit towards the edge of that grass. It might have trickled foul. Not likely, but he had no play anyway. So that's tough, though. It's a tough read, especially for a guy who has not played a lot of third base.
Cedeno's 0 for 2. Lefty hitting outfielder Xavier Paul's on deck. Daniel bangs it off his leg, and there's strike 1. For the Pirates, that's 4 singles tonight and 1 walk. They just have not had many opportunities. They got the leadoff man on in the 2nd inning, Domet. Now Doug Brocail comes out. Lefty Wesley Wright is warming up. This will buy a little bit of time for him should the Astros want to bring him in to face Paul.
Not sure what Doug said to Mike Everett as Mike started out there. Doug kind of chased him off. Not in a menacing way. I think he just said something humorous, really, because Everett just kind of peeled off and started walking towards the Pirate dugout. There's something along the lines, "I'm not going to be here long. Don't worry."
Doug's visits have been known to bring about some smiles on the field. Back by Cedeno. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Young team, young pitching staff. There's been a lot of meetings on the mound this year, more than I can remember ever seeing, both from the pitching coach and from the manager and the catchers. Luke Brooks, Mike's coming out. Don't know.
One hopper, Altuve, backhand flip. Sanchez up and over, and he got him. He couldn't get much on the throw because Harrison was right on top of him. 4-6-3.
The timing of that play got a little out of whack, and Sanchez had to make a A little bit of an adjustment there, ultimately able to get that throw over to first base. Backhand flip down, the throw was low. That's what created the problem. Feed was a little low and a little soft. He had to reach out across to get it.
Now here's the pinch hitter, Xavier Paul, batting for the pitcher Watson, who had a 1-2-3 seventh inning with no strikeouts. That's strike one to Paul.
There's that one that Happ couldn't get earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he's so tall.
Think so?
No, I have no reason, but I'm just going with it.
258 for Paul. It's a 1-1 count. Paul, a former Dodger, trying to get that rally restarted for the Buccos after the double play. That's a rally killer usually. Altuve takes it over for out number 3. No runs a hit, nobody left. Bottom of the 8th inning. In store for you, it's 2-0 Houston.
Chevy is proud to support youth baseball leagues in your local community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. Brownie?
Thanks, Craig. Final day of August. Will J.D. Martinez get another RBI? Most in a month by a rookie. Walt Dropo, 37 in June of 50. Frank Malzone, 36. And so on down the line. Dropo did it again with 33 and 50.
So since 1946, those are your leaders. We had that Rudy York stat earlier. York had 50 in 1937 in the month of August, the month in which he also hit 18 bombs.
So Martinez one away from getting his 29th this month.
He's going to have to go deep right here.
Yeah. Against Jose Veras, the 29-year-old reliever. Pitcher number 3 in the game for the Buccos, 2-4 with a 3.45 ERA.
Well, he's allowed 6 home runs in 62 2/3 innings. Striking out better than a man per inning. Tough to hit, a 197 average. Fastball, curveball, split finger pitch. Rushes it up there pretty good. And that curveball at times can be just devastating. That's a good one.
Strike one. JD singled in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Veras on Monday got a blown save and a loss here, giving up 2 runs on 2 hits. In 2/3 of an inning, he came in with a couple men on base. Carlos Lee had a 3-run homer off him. Martinez swings at that one. It's 0-2. Chipper Jones hit his 450th career home run tonight at Turner Field off John Lannon of the Nationals. Ooh, that's a wicked breaking ball there. Chipper's 34th on the all-time home run list, 2 away from Carl Yastrzemski. JD puts it in the air behind second, and McCutchen comes in center. 1 out in the home 8th. And the Pirates' 9th, Tabata Presley and McCutchen are due up. Top 3 in the lineup.
Mark Melanson getting ready in the Astros bullpen to handle that chore.
Carlos single to right center in the 3rd to extend his hitting streak to 12 games. The Athletics and Indians are tied 3-3 after 9 in Cleveland.
Ubaldo Jimenez tonight for the Tribe.
And we'll check out his pitching line for you. Ubaldo, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. 2 balls, no strikes.
Ubaldo has a 5.50 something ERA for Cleveland. He has not been particularly good since joining them. Good tonight, though.
Jacoby Ellsbury homer to give Boston a 7-5 lead over the Yankees. It's now after 7. That's his 24th. 2 balls and a strike. St. Louis 8, Milwaukee 3. Top of the 7th at Miller Park. Cardinals trying to cut another game off that Brewer lead, which is 9.5. It's 3-1. Then the Cardinals will be big Astros fans this weekend when the Brewers are here. Milwaukee with that fabulous home record. Boy, it's tough to beat that club at Miller Park this year. One of the best home records in years. 50-17. Foul back. 3-2.
Yeah, and that's really amazing because generally their stats don't bear out that there's that much of a home field advantage in baseball.
You're right.
And the Brewers are 7 games below 500 on the road.
Nice solid defensive play there. No panic whatsoever. Carlos smacks a line drive to left. A leap by Presley off his glove and off the wall. Here's Lee into second base. And the throw not in time. A double for Lee. He has 34. He's in the top 3 in the National League. 2 for 4 tonight. Presley almost caught it.
Probably could have gone back just a little bit more, but a very difficult play. That ball hit on a line, tough to gauge. Off the top of his glove.
He banged into that wall too. Almost able to hold it, but then he had that jarring collision with the wall, so it may have come out after that. That is the first extra base hit in this game. Bogusevic's the batter. He's 1 for 3.
One more wouldn't hurt.
Not at all.
Mark Melanson would be good with that. Yeah. Give me one more, boys. Don't necessarily need 2. Just give me 1.
Yeah, if he's save oriented, he doesn't want to. Inside. 1-1 to Bogey. Tampa Bay 4, Texas nothing. Ooh, complete game, James. Top of the 8th inning.
Still going?
We're going to check. He may not be in that heat. Still going.
Wow.
92 pitches.
What a gamer.
Yeah. 1 and 2. He's old school. The Rays just really haven't been able to hit much this year.
He's only 12-10, but he has a 2.86 ERA. I think you got to start putting him on that Cy Young Award short list.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's going to be difficult to beat Verlander over there in Detroit. All these complete games, my goodness.
How about this? Speaking of Verlander, somebody was talking about this today. Yankees and Boston neck and neck. Boston with a half-game lead over the Yankees. Let's see. Detroit is not playing as well as Texas. So.
Yeah, that's who do you want?
Yeah.
Who would you rather play?
Who wants to face Verlander twice in a short series? Do you want to win your division? 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is.
That's a tough call. I still think the Rangers are a tougher team to beat.
Yeah, you make that point. 2-2 with Carlos on.
There's only 2.5 games difference in the standings between the Tigers and the Rangers.
Yeah, that could flip in a hurry. But the Rangers don't have anybody as dominant as Verlander.
No way.
Still 2-2. Mets beat Florida 3-2. Bobby Parnell got his 3rd save. Cliff Lee is 15-7. Philly 3, Cincinnati nothing. Dontrell Willis a tough luck loser again. He's 0-4 with a 4.10 ERA. Madsen got his 25th save. Pence hit his 18th homer. Foul ball.
Well, Dontrell Willis pitched pretty well for the Reds again.
He did, yeah.
Get another loss. He's 0-4, but 6 pretty solid innings.
Yep.
So the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Do they? Is it still the wild card team?
Still is.
Regardless of their record,
Yeah.
the other club, the club they play, has home field advantage.
And when are they going to change that?
I don't know.
Just do it by the best and worst records pairing off. What's the big deal? 3-2. If, for instance, and this is not the case, the Yankees had the worst record of 4 playoff teams. Boston had the best. Why wouldn't those two play in the first round? That's a hang-up. It's never been that way. Must be a good reason, JD.
Yeah. And even like whoever gets to host his home field advantage in that first series, wild card team never can have that. Is that correct?
You're right.
Regardless of the records, because the wild card team is going to have the second best record in the American League.
Yeah, that
whether
could
it's
change.
The Yankees or the Red Sox.
Good, another good point. Yep. 10th pitch is coming from Veras to Bogusevic. Well, we already played If You Were Commissioner for a Day last night. So we can't go back and redo any of that. So we're stuck with it. Arizona 3, Colorado 2, top of the 3rd inning in Arizona. Dexter Fowler hit another one, his 2nd in 2 days. He hadn't hit one all year. Bogusevic works a walk, and he worked for that one. 3rd walk for Pirate pitching tonight. Joel Hanrahan is warming up, just in case the Buccos stop the Astros here and grab the lead in the top of the 9th inning. Their closer is going to be ready. Jimmy Paredes, the batter. He's been on twice tonight and scored a run. Now Ray Searage comes out. Pirates pitchers have been raving about his work as their pitching coach this year. Veras has done a lot of good work. The Pirate pitching, a lot of it was based on just outstanding starting work, keeping the innings off the bullpen earlier in the year. And the Pirates have a couple of pitchers who are banged up right now in their rotation. In fact, their top winner is on the disabled list right now. Kevin Correa, a 12-game winner. And Jeff Karsten's skipping a start. He has a 3.32 ERA. But they're about in the middle of the league for starting pitchers' ERA, even though they have dropped off quite a bit. Runners at first and second, one out for Paredes with Sanchez on deck. He takes it. It's strike one to Jimmy.
I think Clint Hurdle's contemplating using Hanrahan in this inning.
Okay.
With Veras up at 20 pitches now. Hurdle may be thinking about tomorrow and wanting to keep Veras available.
Good point.
And Hanrahan sharp. They haven't been winning much, so I'm not so sure how much his closer's been used lately.
Foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. That would make some sense. Hanrahan, we know, has not been used in this series yet. And they have not been winning many games, so he probably is one of the freshest arms Clint has. See, he pitched the final game of the St. Louis series, and that was the only game he pitched in that 4-game series. That was on the 28th. Paredes on the appeal at third, went for it and struck out. 2 outs. Mike Winters on the call. Now here's Hurdle. And Sanchez will be coming up 2 for 3 tonight. That's going to be it for Veras. We'll be right back with the score 2-0 Houston in the 8th.
Safety runs. You know, you can take the Astros with you wherever you go this season. If you're out of market, you can subscribe to MLB.tv and see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, that's baseball everywhere. You can also check in the other teams that you might want to follow. What is that? It looks like he's taking a picture with his wallet.
The wallet phone, Greg.
The wallet phone, that's the latest.
Yep.
Guy, his driver's license.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know they made those.
Well, this little pouch, he's got his camera in there. His phone, his shoe also doubles as a phone.
Ah. He's got one of those spy rings also.
This guy's unbelievable.
Very, very well equipped. Meanwhile, Joel Hanrahan is warmed up, and he's facing Angel Sanchez. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Gets a foul ball back. There's strike one. Hanrahan, the all-star this season at age 29, has put together a season in which he has 32 of 35 saves. He's 0-3.
Yeah, and he's going to come right out at you with hard stuff. His fastball averages better than 97 miles per hour. Also throws a hard slider. A bit of a hanging slider.
Yeah.
His strikeout rate is down significantly from last year. A year in which he punched out 100 in just 69 and 2/3 innings of work. This year he struck out 51 and 58 in the third innings. So it's down significantly. But he's still been very effective.
Pitched Sunday at St. Louis, retiring all 3 men he faced. It's 1-2. Hanrahan came up with the Dodgers. He was then moved on to Washington through free agency. And Pittsburgh got him in a trade in 2009. Niger Morgan and Sean Burnett, along with Lastings Milledge. 2-2. Niger Morgan and the Brewers are coming in here over the weekend. Tony Plush will be here Friday night.
Yeah, that's Niger Morgan's alter ego, Tony Plush.
How'd he come up with that?
Back when he was a kid, there's a story in Sports Illustrated about the Brewers kind of focusing on Niger and Tony Plush.
3-2. Well, apparently he's been a big hit in their clubhouse, according to that story. Very popular guy with the Brewers. They have some kind of a thing going this year. They are romping in the NL Central. They've had excellent pitching lately. Runners go, and that's a shot. Harrison diving, gets up and throws him out. Quite a play by Harrison at third base. Ending the 8th inning with no runs a hit, 2 men stranded. That keeps the Pirates within 2. Harrison's glove work keeps it at 2-0 Astros after 8. Astros combining on a shutout with Jay Happ going 7. Fernando Rodriguez 1. Now it'll be Mark Melancon. Also a new left fielder in the game, Jason Bourgeois, taking over in left field for J.D. Martinez. He's in the number 9 spot in the lineup, so if there is a bottom of the 9th, he would be due up second. Mark Melancon intending to make that irrelevant. He is 7-4, 15 saves in 20 attempts.
62nd time Mark has gone to the mound this year. 3.29 the ERA. He's allowed 5 home runs. League hits 256 against the Pirate hitters. We'll see fastball, cutter, curveball, and change. Cut fastball has become a very good weapon for him, and he throws. He gets a little movement in on the lefties and out towards the end of the bat on the right-handed hitters, and he does it without really sacrificing any velocity off his fastball. He throws that cutter very hard.
2-0 lead for him as Jose Tabata leads off the 9th inning. He is 0 for 3. Presley and McCutcheon to follow. Paredes is in tight at third base. Showing butt, he takes, and it's strike 1. Melancon in Monday night's game got save number 15 of the year, coming in with a man on base and retiring a man. He struck out Tabata to win the game with a runner at third.
There's that cutter right there, 92 miles an hour. Perfectly placed.
Grounded, and Altuve backhands, sets up for a long throw, stretched by Lee, out. Pretty close play. Altuve hurried, and it's out number 1.
Third consecutive at bat. Tabatas hit the ball on the ground to Altuve. Double play ball in the third and 2 4-3 putouts the next 2 times up.
We go to Kevin now.
All right, 2 outs away from the sweep, hoping it's coming quickly, and want to invite you to join Art Howe and myself for Astros Live coming up immediately following the game. Of course, as always, we're here from Brad Mills, taking through the highlights, all that, and plenty more coming up immediately following the game on Astros Live. Brownie.
Thanks, Kevin, and your drive-by co-host Art Howe getting all ready for the post-game show. Alex Presley's 0 for 3. Art will be going out of town again. There's ball 1.
Where's Art going now?
Well, he's headed for New York. There's some golf to be played, JD.
Oh, all right. Sounds like a pretty good program.
Yes, it does. He's been on a pretty good program all summer. Italy. 2 hopper to Altuve. Maybe we ought to do a special on Art Howe's excellent summer.
Hey, you know, I think there's a Travel Channel show in that.
I think so, yeah.
We could follow Art and John McLaren through Italy. That's what I told Artie before. You know, all of our co-hosts, we schedule them. Artie schedules us.
Yes, he does.
I remind Charles Perrault on the road with Art Howe.
Art,
is this a roast?
Yeah, it is. We heard you have an opening for 2013, Art.
Let's pile it on.
All right, we'll get to you guys shortly.
We'll see you then.
Hopefully. 2 4-3s here. And it's McCutchen 0 for 3 in this game. And Mark Melanson probably wouldn't mind this being the summer of 4-3. If he can get another one here, this game's over. Jay Happ's got his 5th win, and it's a 2-0 shutout. That hit him. So with 2 outs, a speedy runner is on, and Ryan Doumit will come to the plate.
And a dangerous hitter, Ryan Doumit, switch hitter with power. Now will go to his better side, the left side, the back arm of McCutchen. He actually starts his swing, and then as he checks it, it's clipped with that fastball from Melanson.
Second hit batsman this season for Melanson in 64 innings. Doumit singled in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. No Pirate has reached second base in this game. Curveball good for strike 1.
I think that Apollo's playing behind McCutchen there at first base.
I wondered about that.
Run is meaningless. Domit's not going to bunt. And the advantage you get by holding him a little bit is you cut down his lead, and in case second base is the only option on a force play on a ground ball, you try to take that hole away from Doumit.
1-1.
Of course, you're probably going to guard the line anyway, because Doumit represents a tying run. But you could still play deeper and guard the line.
The Astros have 5 shutout wins this season. Pirates have been blanked 11 times. Strike. 1 and 2. That's a big call. Wandy Rodriguez went the first 8 innings when the Astros blanked San Francisco here August 19th. That's the most recent shutout victory. And a strikeout ends it. Well, Melanson gets the save, Happ the win, his 5th of the year. And they collaborate with Fernando Rodriguez on a shutout of the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. And the Pirates do not get a man as far as second in a combined 4-hitter, a 2-0 Houston win, and a sweep of the 3-game series. Back in a moment.